Hello everyone. In this video, I'm going to explain an alternative method that you can use to kill smoke devils much more quickly than you can with melee or with range. As you can probably guess by my inventory and my gear, this is using ancient magics to kill smoke devils. I'll first start by explaining what you should bring. This is my setup. I have 136 magic attack because although smoke devils appear to have no magic defense at all, the cannon accuracy is still relevant. So I have got this gear. If you cannot afford an arcane spirit shield, you can replace that with a book of darkness or a mage's book instead. The reason I'm using a master wand instead of a staff of the dead is because a master wand can also cast ice barrage and the other ancient spells. A staff of the dead cannot. However, as you know, the staff of the dead has got a higher magic damage bonus than a master wand. Due to the way this task works, I would estimate that the difference in XP per hour between using a staff of the dead and a master wand would be at least 5k. So if you are willing to put in additional effort to manually cast every single spell, then go with Staff of the Dead. If you want to be a bit more lazy, just take the Master Wand. So, this is the invent. I've got super restores because when I bought them, they were cheaper than prayer potions. This may or may not be true anymore. Ice barrage runes, a holy wrench, stamina potion to get there, slayering, cannon, and cannonballs. My quick prayers for this task are Mystic Might and Protect from Range. I'm not really sure how much good Mystic Might actually does, but it doesn't really drain prayer very quickly, so I figured I may as well use it. So, make our way to the Smoke Devil place. As you can see, I've got a task of 154, which took me about 500 points to get. This method was originally discovered by my friend, whose RuneScape name I will credit in the description. However, I have attempted to improve on it slightly. This only works because certain obstacles in the Smoke Devil room allow all the Smoke Devils to pile up together. This is not something you see elsewhere in a multi-combat zone. So, we go through the crevice. Hope that nobody's here. Drink the stamina potion. And here, this is the important spot. Before I set everything up, I'll explain. You cannot pass this obstacle, these bones. So it's, as an unpassable tile, things will pile up on all sides of it. You might not think this means very much, but if you combine this with a cannon, that's Smoke Devils, it will become apparent. So I've set up my cannon, I've put on my prayer, turn on my cannon. I'm going to first stand here, because, actually I'm going to stand over here. See, as you can see, these Smoke Devils are now all going to stand over here. The first round always takes longer because the Smoke Devils are more spread out. I'm going to stand over here. My cannon's about to run out of cannonballs, which is a problem, as you can see. So, now I've got 4 Smoke Devils stood up. This is not as many as you usually get. So, I'm just, for the purposes of this, I'm just going to go around once more. I've got 3 over here now. I've got another one. It's important that you don't exactly stand on the pile. If you do, they will all spread out again. Now let's try casting. Though, oh, I didn't even set my auto cast. Ideally, you want to hit as many Smoke Devils as possible, up to 9. So I'm currently hitting 6, which is not ideal, but you can see the method. As you can see, it's quite a lot of magic experience per cast. I generally wait until most of them have died, because I don't want to be luring smoke devils again that only have a small amount of health remaining, as they won't last very long. So, now that there's only 3 left, I'm going to lure them all again. This is how it's done. There are now 2 over here, 3, I stand over here, this one will come over. Now, it's important, again, to move south of this pile, so as to not walk on top of them. Now I need to reload the cannon, and there are 9 smoke devils on this pile. If you were going to use a Staff of the Dead instead, I suppose this would be the ideal time to do so, because it would be fairly easy to autocast when there's 9 of them. However, I just find that manually casting every single spell to be rather tedious. And that's why, when I do this task, I prefer to use a Master Wand. Yeah, 715 XP drop. It's quite a significant difference. See, now there's only 1 smoke devil left, so I'm going to go around once more. 3... See, there were 4 of them on that pile. This task gets slightly better over time as the smoke devils go back to their original spawn points. I have made the mistake of letting my cannon run out of cannonballs. Try not to let that happen, because you've got to waste a tick setting it up again, and that can be annoying. Yeah, this is principally how you do it. You lure them around that skeleton, and you should be able to get at least 7 smoke devils at all times, preferably even up to 9, as long as you are careful. However, of course, as you can probably guess by the fact that I'm using Ice Barrage, this is a very expensive method. While I'm doing this, I will explain approximately how much you'd expect to spend per task. In the 2 previous attempts I have done, I have spent over 700k in runes, and then the usual 400k approximately in cannonballs and 60k in prayer potions. This is vastly more than what you spend with melee or with range, due to the obviously the high rune cost. So I probably wouldn't do this unless I was trying to do a 30-hour day record, because I don't believe the additional expense would be worthwhile unless I was extremely wealthy. Another concern, of course, is that the principal combat stat you're getting experience in is magic. If you train magic efficiently, it's lossless, so magic XP is not very valuable. Less valuable than melee XP unless you train your melees with Guthans. However, that said, the Slayer XP you can expect to receive is extremely generous. In the 2 tests I have done previously, I got between 76 and 84k, depending on how hard I was trying to get 9 smoke devils stacked at once at all times. If you practice this method consistently, you should expect to receive over 80k Slayer XP per hour, in addition to approximately 180k magic XP per hour, and then a small amount of hit points and range experience from the cannon. So it's another downside of using a Staff of the Dead, of course, the inability to autocast. As you can see, the difference in XP drops can be quite pronounced due to the fact that the Staff of the Dead hits, well, 15% higher. I don't know if it's intentional, but I believe the Smoke Devils may have 0 magic defense, because I have not seen myself splash on them. I have just seen myself hit a 0. It is possible to hit a 0, of course, because you can roll a 0 and my cannon can hit a 0. So I'm not sure if this is intentional, but due to the fact that they have extremely low magic defense, this is a very powerful method. This is the best list spot in my opinion. You will always get 4 smoke devils if you stand there and wait for those ones. However, I will just show now what happens if you make a mistake and you walk on these smoke devils. Like so. They all move apart, which is very annoying because when you go to barrage them, you cannot hit all of them at once. If you make the mistake of standing on the pile of items there when there's a smoke devil pile, you will have to low again. So that is the single biggest thing you can do to detriment your XP per hour here. It's very important that you stand in the right spots at the right times. So yeah, I can rectify this now by just going through the lure method once more. Finally, it is important to click the middle pile of smoke devils so that you will attack all of the ones adjacent. If I hit these ones, I'm not going to hit those ones, and if I hit those ones, I'm not going to hit those ones. Therefore, always hit the middle pile, otherwise you're going to be missing a third of your targets minimum, which is obviously not ideal. If you have any questions about how this method works in more detail, I will be happy to explain.